Yo, what's up guys, it's ApTreX here. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the latest updates or news regarding the Andstation PS3 Emulator for Android. Now if you guys remember, then this was a very ambitious project which aimed to run Rpcs3 natively on Android devices without using any Windows emulators like WinLater. I am talking about the native ARM64 port of Rpcs3 Emulator. And even before Rpcs3 actually released their own ARM64 version, Andstation project managed to port the Rpcs3 Emulator for ARM64 devices by themselves, which was a huge feat, and many of us were very excited to see the future of this emulator. Now there were two things which Rpcs3 required if you wanted to run it on Android with best performance. The first thing is root, the second thing is going to be a high-end Android device. Now the developer who was working on the Rpcs3's Android port did not really have any high-end equipments for the development of this emulator, and immediately when the project went public, he got a lot of backlash regarding this emulator, saying that it's not original, it's nothing new from many people across the internet. And to be honest, there are many developers who fear of mobile emulation community because of toxic people. You guys might have even seen Rpcs3's official post saying that they will stay away from mobile emulation conversations because of the toxic community. Even the downfall of emulators like Aether, SX2, etc., all because the developers were getting bullied online, which is very unfortunate. Obviously you gotta have a lot of will if you want to survive online world where anyone can state their opinion and ruin your day. Obviously, me being an YouTuber for the last 5 years, I know everything about it, and here is some of the progress which Andstation PS3 Emulator actually made before it got discontinued. The first thing, that they published the ARM64 build of Rpcs3 Emulator on their official GitHub page. Afterwards, they finished on working on the version 0.2 of Andstation PS3 Emulator. Remember, the version which we got was version 0.1 and 0.2 was finished and in its beta testing. But bad news, it was unstable. Apparently it had a lot of crashing issues, the controllers were the worst touch controls, Android 14 was not supported because of X11, lot of compatibility issues, and even Mali GPU support was not present. Basically the developer called it a useless emulator. These problems can be fixed, but it will require rooting your phone, which is not ideal for an emulator. Now this statement of rooting your device, just keep it in mind because it will be relevant once again after I explain everything. Afterwards, the developer said that right now we are working on version 1.0 beta, expect it anytime in mid of 2025. That was the main release date of Andstation 3. And the developer was just getting fed up by the comments like test GT, etc. Obviously it's nothing to get fed up, he could have just replied politely, but nonetheless they started a Patreon page. Obviously I believe people did not support the developer financially for upgrading his working equipment, etc. The developer made a post that only thing missing is fixing Qt6 bus and Rpcs3 ports should be ready, which got many hopes high. We also saw the Rpcs3 ARM64 build running on Android devices in a Linux environment on a rooted Android device. Once again, remember the word root. The developer came up with only two options when the development was not going great. Remove Qt6 completely, which will take ages to do. Scrap the whole project, as even the Rpcs3 code is in a state that's not possible to be compiled on Android. Afterwards, the developer's phone also died down, so unfortunately lot of things were just going wrong. And then on Friday, the developer made his final message. Hello guys, I know you didn't want to hear this news, but I am discontinuing Andstation 3 as I am in the last year of high school and then college. I don't want to risk my future college just for a buggy emulator. Obviously understandable. I don't get any support from this project anyway, neither money or even respect from the community. All I got is just hate, and there are few comments which the developer talked about, for example Andstation 3 not being legit, etc. The project is close to impossible to be compiled to Android natively because all third-party dependencies cannot be compiled to Android, and most of them are essential. For example, libOpenGL, libOpenEL, libUSB, Vulkan, Qt6D BUS, and even running the ARM64 Rpcs3 Linux version on proot, it will pop up an error, and after 1 month of trying to see where the issue is, it appears to be from tracer PID not equaling to 0, and so it can't enable SHM in emulator. This is backend stuff. I was able to get Rpcs3 version 0.15 to run in box 64, but no GPU was found and unable to play it. He managed to compile ARM64 version of Rpcs3 before the Rpcs3 team and release ARM64 binaries, and it still did not work. The whole idea of the project in the first place was to be an experimental project and not an actual emulator. My idea was to run Rpcs3 on fixed and I did it. It just wasn't a good idea. You can fork the emulator if you want to use its open source code anyway. I hope you all appreciate my work. Thanks for everything. So guys, for the reasons which developer mentioned, Andstation PS3 Emulator has ended. Honestly, not the first emulator which has been discontinued in 2024. There have been tons and tons of other emulators as well which have been discontinued left, right and center, including the Skyline project, Cassia emulator and so much more. But it's all understandable. Obviously a bit disappointing but understandable. Do let me know in the comment section down below what are your opinions on this matter. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace out.